Hey, soldiers, we talk about the world losing faith in the US dollar, in the greenback. Well, even the states here in America are increasingly doing things that clearly demonstrate that they don't have that faith in the US dollar either. Now, again, just like we did with the video talking about Zimbabwe, okay, I am trying to introduce the audience to assets that as we go throughout this transition with the dollar, with the world economy, that we are not only able to grow our wealth, but hold on to the wealth that we have, right? And there are many instruments that help us do that. Now, take a look at this chart. This is the decline in value of the dollar, okay, over time, right? Your dollar, you know it, you feel it. All you got to do is run this simple test and ask yourself, what did that dollar purchase when you were 12 to 15 years old based in comparison to what it purchases now? That dollar is not worth the paper it was once written on, all right? Quite literally. Now, gold, the state of Alaska, they are the latest state to come out and say, hey, we're going to incorporate gold into our economy, all right? They've got a bill circulating. It's funny because the Democrats are pushing back against this because the Democrats are economic neophytes, and that's being charitable, okay? Something about that liberal mindset just doesn't pay attention to macroeconomic fact because it's too cold, okay? It's too matter of fact. If you're of the leftist mindset, you're still, rainbows and unicorns and, we can all just have whatever we want. The government can provide it as we just take off our shoes and skip through the dew-covered tulips without a care in the world, right? But the reality of it is that the dollar continues to lose value, separate and apart from the loss of its prominence, okay? The loss of its reserve currency status. Let's just say it wasn't in the process of losing its reserve currency status, which it is. We're going to be, its sole reserve currency status for the most part. Let's say that didn't even exist. The dollar is still losing a tremendous amount of value based on the fact that the United States of America has been addicted to just, easy monetary policy, putting money out there on the street, flooding the world with dollars, okay? So Alaska, they have said, let's do something about that. Let's follow in the lead of Wyoming, Tennessee, Texas, Kansas, many other states that are making these types of moves. Guys, before we get into this, subscribe. I need you to hit that subscribe button. That is the way you enlist and become a soldier of finance. You let me know in the comments that you enlisted and I will salute you. Now, I need everybody, whether you are already a soldier or you just became one, a millisecond ago. I need you to hit the thumbs up. That is your way of letting YouTube know more people need to hear what we've got to say, okay? That's your way of voting yay on perpetuating this content. Share it with a friend, share it with a loved one. The Alaska House passes a bill to make gold and silver legal tender. In the final days of the legislative session up there in Alaska, their House of Representatives, their lower legislative house, passed a bill that would allow gold and silver to be used as legal tender. House Bill 3, introduced by Big Lake Republican Representative Kevin McCabe, would allow business owners to decide if they want to accept the precious metals as currency. The coin or bar would need to be refined and its value would need to be authenticated, meaning gold dust or nuggets could not be used. It has to be refined, okay? McCabe told the House, and that's smart because what you want to do is have some sort of stabilized unit of exchange. If I bring a nugget in, my nugget's going to be bigger than yours, okay? And the amount of dust I have is going to be less than the amount you have. So that gets really complicated really, really quickly. If you're bringing in 10th ounce, 1 ounce, even these gold, they got the gold back, like the greenback, they're actual bills that they have real gold embedded in them. Now, look, I'm not endorsing that. I'm just saying that it has a prescribed amount a uniform amount of gold in them. That's what they say. So it would have to be refined, which makes sense. McCabe told the House State Affairs Committee earlier in the session that one of his constituents suggested the idea to him because they did not trust the national banking system. You're seeing more and more of that, okay? More than 10 states have passed similar bills, including Arkansas, in April. All right, so trust in the banks is at an all-time low. I think I told you guys the other day I went into the bank to get $2,400. They had me in there for about 10 minutes. And $2,400, that's not a lot of money, guys. And here comes the bank manager, and he's trying to make small talk with me. I got my Tractor Supply hat on. Oh, Tractor Supply, aren't they great? I'm like, yes, they are. Great customer service, excellent selection. And Ace Hardware, do you like them? As a matter of fact, sir, yes, I do like Ace Hardware. I believe they have phenomenal customer service, and I always find everything I need. And in my mind, I'm thinking, can I have my damn money so I can get the hell out of here? But he's typing things in, and I'm like, wow, man, what an uncomfortable feeling. And this is a big national bank, okay, that's doing this. Now, I understand that banks, this is not the old West. They don't have $1 million in the vault. But I came in near the end of the day on a Saturday. Okay, so it's not like $2,000 is going to have you all say, oh, well, we got to close the bank now. Okay, I should hope. The bill specifically exempts local governments from collecting sales tax when U.S. dollars are exchanged for gold and silver. That's appropriate. Sales taxes on purchases made with the bullion would still apply. Okay, so when you make the exchange, you get rid of those. I have one here. When you get rid of these fiat banknotes, okay, these pretty much worthless pieces of paper, when you exchange that for the gold, no taxes. All right, now I'm going to tell you that is extremely beneficial because making that a non-taxable transaction, if you decided just to hold on to that gold, all right, and pass it down through your generations, then that can be perpetually exempt from taxation. But they are saying, and look, if you were going to spend this and they're going to be sales taxes applied to whatever you bought with it, I don't know what you can buy with just this, but you put it together with some other worthless banknotes and you might be able to get a bag of potato chips. But once you do that, then, okay, they're saying if you did it in dollars or gold, then sales tax would apply. They're not going to cut themselves out of their sales tax because that's one of the ways they, as a state, make money. They do not have a printing press like the federal government has. The use of gold and silver as currency would also affect, I lost my place there, sorry guys. The use of gold and silver as currency would also still attract federal capital gains taxes. Now again, the capital gains tax would kick in if you sold that gold. If their value increased between the time when they were bought and sold, the user could be guilty of tax evasion if they did not report that on income. And on the Soldiers of Finance channel, we encourage everybody to pay what they owe in taxes. Don't mess around with that, okay? If you got a beef with our system of taxation, then I encourage you to write your legislators and, go through that process. Always pay what you owe in taxes, because if you don't, then that will actually have the potential of impeding your march toward financial independence, because then the IRS might come in and they may say, hey, look, we got to audit you. You didn't pay this, so now we're going to tack on penalties and fees. And if you get too crazy with it, they might say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take away your most valuable, non-renewable resource, your time. And we're going to sit you in a federal prison for a couple of years, and then you won't be able to make any appreciable income. Okay, so pay your taxes. If you buy gold, you turn around and sell it, and you make a gain, report it. That simple. States such as Wyoming and Utah have used gold-back ink, that's what I was talking about earlier, the bill, to design their gold bills, which are then produced by Oregon-based company Valurum. McCabe showed examples of the other states' gold bills during a committee hearing and suggested that the Alaska Arts Council could design a local version. If the measure passes the Senate, a joint legislative committee would be tasked with studying alternative currencies that could be adopted and used in Alaska. So again, I want to stress this, guys. You got states moving away from the dollar, and not just one or two. Okay, this is quite a few states. We've been reporting on all of them that have been doing this. The Sound Money Defense League, a national organization that describes itself as being laser focused on restoring gold and silver to its historic role as America's constitutional money, has supported states across the nation to pass similar bills. Policy Director J.P. Cortez told Alaska lawmakers that waiving taxes on gold and silver would remove disincentives for their use, and that bullion was a good option to avoid the effects of inflation. We talk about it all the time, guys. Gold has been shown over the long periods of time to be an excellent hedge against inflation. House Bill 3 attracted opposition from Democrats and independents in the House on Thursday. Representative Rebecca Hemschut, a Sitka independent, said she opposed the bill because it would restrict local communities' abilities to tax themselves. The House bill advanced to the Senate on, I guess that could be remedied, though. There could be a provision that still allowed them to do that. And maybe she's angling for the inclusion of just such a provision. Maybe if they can do that, they would get another vote. The House bill advanced to the Senate, so they don't need it. The bill came out of the House. It came out on a 25-15 vote Thursday, which is, good. It didn't just slide by. It's got a good margin there, 10 vote cushion. With opposition coming from members of the Democrat-dominated minority caucus. The regular legislative session has already ended. So we shall see what the Senate does about that. But if they go ahead and let that fly and approve that, and it looks like, that may happen, then that could be excellent. It could be the addition of another state that is moving toward gold. Okay, and saying we're going to put the dollar over here. We're not going to discontinue its use, obviously, but we are going to make it so that, you can use gold in these transactions. It will be legal tender in competition with the dollar. I want to see what the Fed is going to do about that. Now, the thing is, as of right now, the Democrats actually have a slim lead in terms of representation in the Alaska Senate. It's 8 Republicans, 9 Democrats. So we'll see what happens. If they can convince one Democrat or 2 Democrats to get on board, that might... all they need to do is convince one. Just bring one over, and they would have a 1-point margin. Then get it up to the governor and have them sign it, and it's off to the races. So, guys, look, as I always say, strongly consider whether or not commodities like gold, like real estate, have a place in your portfolio. Now, real estate's not going to be as liquid. Okay, we all know that. All right, but I want to, in my life at least, okay, and I'm a big proponent of this, redefine wealth. Okay, for a long time, wealth in this country has been defined kind of like celebrity wealth. Okay, so he's got a big fancy car. It's the latest car. Or, she has got the biggest, most grandiose house on a postage stamp size lot that she can't even grow anything on because the neighborhood association is not with it. So I encourage you guys to go out and start redefining wealth. All right. Wealth, to me, is owning these commodities like land, okay, real estate that you can do something with, either derive income from it or grow something on it. Okay, so that puts out condos, all right, because you really can't do much of anything with that. You don't even own the land, okay. It's just like it's an apartment. You own an apartment, Okay. And that might be great if you got a second pad down in Miami somewhere. But for the rest of us, I think a redefinition of wealth is in order. And that's what we are seeing. Okay. That's what we are seeing. So study that and continue to watch the videos about that. And we will, bring you more information about all these states that are moving toward a gold standard. Now, human labor, that's another commodity, right? Your ability to provide value to the market in some way, shape, or form is definitely a commodity. It is worth something, but it is being threatened by artificial intelligence. Now, we have one of the architects of Google's DeepMind. He is saying, look, there are about to be a lot of angry people, hundreds of millions of them, because AI is going to take the jobs they have right now, right? And he's got some suggestions on how to keep money in their pocket. I don't like what he suggests. Watch that video, and that might convince you to redefine wealth and start to take a serious look at real estate, gold, silver, your own business. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon.